Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm a little bit under the weather today, so my voice might not be that clear this today. So today we're talking about data types in JavaScript. So JavaScript 2 also has other data types it has, and there are several. We'll be talking about all of them today. So I've already linked my JavaScript file here using the scripts tag. If you don't know what this means, you can go to the previous video that talks about variables. I discussed how to link your HTML and JavaScript together. So since I've already linked them together at this point, so let's go up to the straight point. So we're going to start with the first data type. We're going to call this the string data type. String data type. And in this string data type, let's say let name is equal to this. We can say Augustine. I must have talked about this instead. So we can decide to just write a console.log and log out the name. So let's just log out the name here. So I'm going to refresh this, and as you can see at the right hand side, you can see Augustine. So I've noticed some of you might have difficulties seeing it from the right hand side. So what I'll just do is I'm just going to pop it on there so you can make use of it. So it's showing Augustine right here. So this is an example of a string data type. Strings are surrounded by single quotes or double quotes. So let's say let's class single quotes party. Sorry, I forgot this is necessary at the moment. So let's say, oh, class is a special word in this thing. So let's say a guy. Class is a special word in JavaScript, so that didn't work. So we said a guy and refresh this. This would also work. So you got a guy is named as Kwati. So that's another method of writing strings. So in a situation, let's create another string. Let's say this is a statement. Let's just say statement is equal to, let's say, hello, are you is this, or let's say, are you that man, or let's say, are you your father's son? Now, if we should write this out and we print out statements, it will work all fine. Let's refresh this. You see, hello, are you your father's son? It will work all fine. But in a situation like this, we use single quotes. Let's say we use single quotes here. There is gonna be an error. So Visual Studio has not flagged this out. It mentioned that there's an error there. But let's see more of that. If we run it, it's going to say uncaught syntax error. Now what happens here is that JavaScript begins to see this single quote and this second single quote inside the statement as being one string. So this is what is seen, and it doesn't know what this is. Sorry, it doesn't know what this remaining part is from here to here. So you can see here it's flagged as white, and other strings are flagged as green, but this one is colored white, meaning that there's an issue somewhere. So something like this can actually happen in your code. The same thing goes for double quotes. So let's say greeting. Let's say I am a goat, and I want to lay emphasis on the goats. I can decide to do this with double quote like this. Here, both of them, let's say we also want to print out greeting. I will run it. Both of them will give us error, but it will first flag the first one, which is line 6 over here. So how can we do this? We can use this. You can correct this using something called the escape character, and that escape character is the backward slash. So if you make use of the backward slash, what happens is that this tells Python that the next character here should be ignored. So it ignores this and then it makes use of this two as a full string. We could also do the same thing here, make use of a backward slash here and a backward slash here. So at this point both should work. If I refresh it, you can see hello. Oh sorry, are you your father's son? I hope I got that very well. English is not my thing. I always run away from it in secondary school. So you can see I am a goat. Yeah, that's it. I'm the goat. So you can see how you can avoid this kind of errors like this in future, because they happen especially for beginners not understanding how those things work. So this is it for strings. And one more thing, let's say let num equals to, let's say 3.44. Now this is also a string. String is anything that is surrounded within single quotes or double quotes. So in a situation like this, you might be wondering, but I put in a number. But no, this is also a string. So for future purposes, I'll do an example later on. But for future purposes, this is also a string because it's in a double quote. If it was also in a single quote, still the same thing. So let's switch over to the next data type, which is numeric. So numeric data type, I'll just refresh this. I'll say let num, or we've already defined num up here. So I'll clear this out for now. So we'll say let num equal to, we can write a 3.14, 14 or 10. We can also say let a equal to 5. All these are numbers. You just write numbers straight up. You don't need to actually put anything around it. You can also write maybe let b equal to minus 30. So at this point, these are the numbers. So let's print one. Let's say num, and we come down here and we print a, or console.log a. So you can see here we got 3.1 and we also got 5. So numeric data type doesn't really have much to it. It's very, very simple when it comes. And then we have Boolean. So Boolean is simply true or false. Sorry, false. So we can say let is coding. That's just a variable to check whether I'm coding. Let's say it's equal to true. So if I should print sorry, console.log this is coding, I'm thinking Python as we speak right now. If I should console.log is coding, it's a true is not defined. Sorry, that's an error. I was thinking Python. It's small letter t. So if I should reload this right now, I get true and 5. So let me remove this so it doesn't print 2. So I reload this, I just get true and 5. Oh, I didn't save it. So I reload this, I got true. Great. So right here is where we did it. We say let coding equal to true, and then give it, let's say let's not resting, let's resting like equation equal to, sorry, small letter false. Then run this. Oh, I didn't console.log it out. So we can also console.log resting. Great intelligence by VS Code, by the way. VS Code developers, you all tried. So you can see it gave me true and false. So another thing that most people do not know is in programming generally, Boolean can also be like this, 0 and 1. Why do I say it like this? Is because in coding, 1 means true and 0 means false. You can think of logic gates. For where I come from, that was something they always taught us in secondary school. So they will tell you 0 means false, 1 means true, and all that kind of thing, because the computer thinks in zeros and 1. So it always has true, false kind of thing. That's if I got it correctly. I'm not that sure. But Yes, so 1 means true when we're dealing with booleans, and 0 means false. So when I have 0, it could also be meaning as false. But that doesn't mean that 0 as a numeric won't work, but it also works as a boolean. So we also have another variable, another data type. We call this data type undefined. So undefined happens when you create a variable without anything in it. We just write something like this, let's w. So if I say console.log w, permit me to bring this up a bit, sorry about that. If I say console.log w and I run this, you see I get the undefined. Undefined is trying to tell me that this is, nobody has assigned anything to it. It's just like that. It just declared it and gave me like that. So this is why it gives us undefined. We also have one more. I want this video to be very, very short, which is the null. So null is simply trying to tell a particular code. Let's say user equal to null. What null simply says, by the way, console.log user, what null simply says is that this is empty, completely empty. Null means that it's like, null is actually like, it is a data type like I mentioned here, but it's a data type that tells your code that is whatever is there or anything that is given null is empty. There's nothing, there's no form of information attached to it, but it's actually a data type. So let's console.log this, refresh it, you can see we have null. So these are some of the popular data types in there. And now before I go, I just want to show you the format we use to check what data types our variable have. For example, we have a variable on top here named Augustine. I want to check what data type is. We simply have to just use the type of, and then we write type of, give a space, and then write the variable. So we give a space for name, and we refresh it. As you can see, it gave us string, right? It gave us string, and we can use this for, what's the name of that numeric data type I did? Num. So I can console.log type of num, and it gave me what? Number. You understand, right? We also have so if I should do is coding, it might give me number, sorry, which is exactly what it gave me. At this point, remember I told you it can serve as both a number and a boolean. So in a situation where Python every time, in a situation where JavaScript is looking for a boolean and it gets 1, it automatically knows that, oh, it's referring to it being a boolean at this point. So it automatically assigns it to a boolean, which 1 now becomes true. So let's just cut out this code to see this exact part, so we can see how it works. So you can see now it gave us boolean because we wrote true directly. But like I said, in a situation where it's looking for only a boolean and it gets 1, that means 1 becomes true at that particular point, or it gets 0, that means 0 is false. We could also check the data type of w. We run this, you see it gave us undefined, and we can check the data type of user. Now this will give us something quite different. It gives us object. Now remember I told you this is a data type. It's actually meant something, but that something is trying to tell your code or try to tell the computer is that there is nothing inside. So it's like when we come to advanced JavaScript, it says an object that doesn't have anything inside. So Python automatically knows that this is empty. I'm sorry, JavaScript automatically knows that this is empty. The whole Python, JavaScript. You know, when you fall in love with Python, you always make a lot of mistakes when you go to other places. But that doesn't mean I can't code in JavaScript. I learned JavaScript first, actually. But still, let's not let that hold us back. So this is just a brief explanation of all the data types in JavaScript. Not actually all of them, but these are the basic ones you want to know. I also showed you the escape. Remember, the backward slash is the escape. And one last thing before I go. So imagine we want to put in a variable inside a console.log. So maybe I wanted to say, hello, my name is this. So I can simply say, hello, my name is name. That means the name I want to use. But if I should write this like this, and I should write this, it should say, hello, my name is name. So how do we add the person's name? We can do that by doing this. This is called concatenation. I can remove this and put it here, and when I run this, you see, hello, my name is Augustine, but there is no space here. That's the thing about it. Concatenation just joins two strings together without any space. So let's correct that by adding a space here. We can run this now and say, oh, hello, my name is Augustine. The second way of doing something like this is quite tricky, but that doesn't mean it's not impossible. Now what we can do is that inside a string, we can use not just any string, but there's one more type of string which we use the backward slash. If you are using a computer, it's the character before number one on your keyboard. So if I use the backward slash, or sorry, backward tick, not backward slash, please. I stand corrected. Backward tick. Comment it down here. Backward tick. And it's before 1. So now inside this backward tick, what we can do is that we can put in the $sign, and after putting $sign, we put in the curly braces. Now inside these curly braces, you can see it suddenly changed color. So inside this place, we can pass in our variable just as a normal string, and then you can see, hello, my name is Augustine. So that's all for this video. I hope it's not too long. Thank you very much for your time, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.